Hello, everyone. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? I am so incredibly excited you are here today. Welcome to UniHouse Academy, the absolute best place on the internet to master your English skills while exploring the most beautiful corners of the world from your seat. I am your host, Alex, and today we are diving deep into the crystal clear turquoise waters of the Maldives. Before we jump into the details, let me tell you why listening to our channel is such a powerful tool for you. By listening to these episodes and shadowing my voice, you are training your brain to understand natural English rhythms and building the real-world confidence to speak like a pro. It is truly the most effective way to improve your fluency and listening comprehension. So please, if you want to support your learning journey and never miss a lesson, hit that subscribe button right now and give this video a big, energetic thumbs up. It really helps us create more amazing content for you. Today, we are talking about the Maldives. It is a dream destination for many, but there are so many practical things you need to know before you pack your bags. We are going to cover everything from budget tips to the best time to visit. I have been there myself, and I want to share all the real-life details with you so your trip can be absolutely perfect. Stay with me until the very end because I have a special tip that will save you hundreds of dollars. Let's get started on this amazing journey together right now. First, let's talk about the planning phase of your trip. When I first thought about visiting the Maldives, I honestly thought it was only for the super rich, but that is not true at all. The very first thing you need to decide is when to go. The best weather is usually from November to April. This is known as the dry season. During these months, the sky is a perfect blue and the water is incredibly calm. I remember landing at the Valana International Airport in Malé and feeling the warm tropical breeze on my face immediately. It was such a wonderful contrast to the cold weather I had left behind. If you choose to go during the wet season, which is from May to October, you might get some rain, but the prices for hotels are much lower. It is a real-life trade-off that you have to consider. When you book your flights, try your best to arrive in the morning. This is a very important practical tip because most speedboats and seaplanes that take you to the distant islands only run during daylight hours. If you arrive late at night, you might have to stay one night in Malé or the nearby island of Malé. I actually did that once, and it was a great way to see how local people live. You can walk around the small streets, see the colorful houses, and eat at a local cafe. It makes the whole experience feel much more real and less like a tourist brochure. Planning is half the fun, so take your time and enjoy the process. Now, let's talk about where to stay, because this is a big decision that will shape your whole experience. You have two main choices, a private resort island or a local island. In the past, tourists could only stay on private resorts. But now you can stay in lovely guest houses on islands where local people actually live. I personally love the local islands like Mafushi or Digura. Why? Because you get to see the real Maldives. You see children going to school, fishermen bringing in their fresh catch of the day, and you can eat delicious local food for a fraction of the price you would pay at a resort. On a local island, a nice room might cost you $60, while a resort room could easily be $600. Of course, the resorts are absolutely beautiful. They have those famous overwater bungalows where you can jump straight into the ocean from your private balcony. It feels like you are living in a movie. If you have the budget, I suggest doing a mix of both. Spend 3 days on a local island to save money and experience the culture, then spend 2 days at a resort for total relaxation and luxury. When I stayed at a small guest house, the owners treated me like family. They showed me the best secret spots to see baby sharks swimming near the shore. It was such a warm and human experience that I will never forget. Choosing where to stay really changes your whole trip experience. Getting around the Maldives is an adventure in itself. Since the country is made of over 1,000 tiny islands, you cannot just take a taxi or a bus everywhere. You have to use boats or planes. When you arrive at the airport, which is actually on its own island, you will see rows of speedboats waiting in the water. It is such a cool and unique sight. If your island is close to Malay, you will take a speedboat. It is fast, a bit bumpy, and very exciting. I remember holding on to my hat as we zoomed over the waves. If your island is far away, you will take a seaplane. This is a bit expensive, but oh my goodness, the view is incredible. You fly low over the atolls, and they look like green and blue jewels scattered in the deep blue ocean. I spent the whole flight with my face pressed against the window, taking as many photos as I could. It was a real pinch-me moment. For those traveling on a budget, there are also local ferries. They are very slow, but they cost almost nothing. It is a great way to travel if you are not in a hurry and want to enjoy the sea breeze and the sun. Just remember to check the ferry schedules carefully because they do not run every day. Every trip between islands is a chance to see more of this beautiful world, so keep your eyes open and enjoy the ride. Let's talk about the local culture because it is so important to be a respectful and thoughtful traveler. The Maldives is a Muslim country, and this affects daily life on the local islands in a few ways. For example, you should dress modestly when you are walking through the village. This means covering your shoulders and your knees. I always carry a light scarf in my bag, just in case I need it. It is a simple way to show respect to the local community and their traditions. Also, you should know that there is no alcohol allowed on local islands, which I actually found quite refreshing. You can drink fresh coconut water instead, which is much better for you anyway. One of my favorite real-life experiences was eating breakfast with a local family I met. We had mas huni, which is a delicious mix of tuna, coconut, and onions, eaten with a thin flatbread called rashi. It was so spicy and tasty. People in the Maldives are incredibly friendly and kind. If you smile and say Assalamu alaikum, which is a traditional greeting, you will almost always get a huge smile back. Learning a few words of the local language, Divihi, goes a long way in making connections. It shows that you care about their home and not just the beaches. Being a good guest makes your travel experience so much deeper and more meaningful for everyone involved, and it creates memories that last a lifetime. You simply cannot visit the Maldives without getting into the water. The ocean there is like a giant, warm swimming pool full of amazing life. I am not a professional diver, but snorkeling was more than enough to blow my mind. One morning, I went on a boat trip to find manta rays. We waited patiently in the water, and suddenly, these huge, graceful creatures appeared below us. They looked like they were flying through the water. It was a very emotional and powerful experience to be so close to such beautiful animals in their natural home. I also saw sea turtles eating seagrass and thousands of colorful fish that looked like they were painted by an artist. If you are very lucky, you might even see whale sharks. These are the biggest fish in the sea, but they are very gentle and calm. When you are in the water, please remember the golden rule. Look, but do not touch. We want to keep the ocean healthy and beautiful for a long time. Even just swimming off the beach at your hotel can be amazing. I saw a small stingray resting in the sand, just a few meters from the shore. Every time I put on my mask and snorkel, I felt like I was entering a completely different world. It is a real-life magic show that happens every single day under the waves, and I want you to experience it too. It is something you will talk about for years. Packing for the Maldives is quite easy because you do not need much, but there are some essentials you must bring to stay comfortable. First, you need a lot of high-quality sunscreen. The sun is very strong because the Maldives is located right near the equator. Please make sure your sunscreen is reef-safe to protect the delicate coral reefs. I saw some people using regular sunscreen, and it makes me sad because it hurts the environment. You also need a good pair of sunglasses and a wide hat to protect your face. For clothes, think light and airy. Linen and cotton are your best friends in the tropical heat. I usually pack a few swimsuits because you will spend most of your time in the water. A waterproof bag is also a great idea to keep your phone and camera dry when you are on boats. I learned this the hard way when a big wave splashed into our boat and soaked my bag. Luckily, my phone was okay, but it was a very close call. You do not need fancy shoes. Most of the time, you will be barefoot or wearing simple flip-flops. In fact, many resorts have a no shoes, no news policy, which I absolutely love. It feels so good to walk on the soft, white sand all day long. Packing light makes your travel so much easier and more relaxed, so leave the heavy suitcases at home and just bring the basics. Now, let's get practical about money and staying connected while you are away. The local currency is the Maldivian rupiah, but US dollars are accepted almost everywhere, especially in resorts and tourist shops. However, if you are staying on a local island, it is a very good idea to have some local cash for small cafes or local shops. I usually withdraw some money from the ATM at the airport right when I arrive. Speaking of the airport, that is also the best place to get a local SIM card. Staying connected is important for checking maps, looking up restaurant reviews, or booking tours. The internet in the Maldives is surprisingly good, even on remote islands. I was able to video call my family from a boat in the middle of the ocean to show them the sunset. They couldn't believe how beautiful it was. Just remember that many small places prefer cash over credit cards, so always have some small bills with you. Also, tipping is not mandatory, but it is very much appreciated by the hard-working staff. If someone helps you with your heavy bags or gives you a great tour, a small tip shows your gratitude. Managing your money well means you can focus on having fun instead of worrying about bills. It is all about being prepared so you can enjoy every single moment of your tropical vacation without any stress or surprises. One thing that really touched my heart during my visit was seeing how much the Maldivian people care about their environment. The Maldives is one of the lowest-lying countries in the world, which means it is very vulnerable to climate change and rising sea levels. As travelers, we have a real responsibility to help protect this paradise. Many islands have now banned single-use plastics, which is fantastic. I always bring my own reusable water bottle and a metal straw. It is a small action, but if everyone does it, it makes a huge difference. I also participated in a coral planting activity at one of the resorts. We attached small pieces of coral to a frame and placed it in the ocean to help the reef grow back. It was so cool to think that a part of me is now growing in the Indian Ocean. When you go snorkeling, please be very careful not to step on the coral. It is a living animal and very fragile. By being a conscious and careful traveler, you are helping to ensure that this paradise stays beautiful for future generations to enjoy. It feels good to know that your holiday is not just about relaxing, but also about respecting and protecting the natural world. We are all guests on this planet, and the Maldives is a perfect place to remember that. Every small choice we make can help keep our oceans clean and our planet healthy. As we come to the end of our travel guide, my biggest takeaway for you is this. The Maldives is not just a place for pretty photos. It is a place for deep feelings and connections. It is the feeling of the warm sun on your skin, the salt in your hair, and the genuine kindness of the people you meet. It reminds us to slow down and appreciate the simple, natural beauty of our world. I hope this guide helps you plan your own real-life adventure to these amazing islands. Thank you so much for joining me today on UniHouse Academy. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode and that it helps you feel more confident in your English learning journey. Remember, the more you listen and shadow these scripts, the better your English will become. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and hit that like button to show your support. It means the world to us and helps us keep making these lessons for you. We are so proud of the progress you are making every single day. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and keep dreaming big. I cannot wait to see you in our next episode for more English learning and world adventures. Until then, take care of yourself, keep smiling, and happy traveling. This is Alex from UniHouse Academy, signing off. Goodbye for now, and see you very soon in the next video.